Yo, what is going on, guys? SCJ here, back with another video, and today I want to talk about Luka Doncic and mostly how he's played since he's entered the NBA bubble or NBA campus in Orlando. So this past Sunday, we saw Game 4 of the 2020 first-round series between the LA Clippers and, of course, Luka's team, the Dallas Mavericks. Many people, whether that be people on social media or the Inside the NBA crew on TNT, have been calling this game the best game of the playoffs so far, and they're probably correct, as we saw great performances from multiple guys such as Tim Hardaway Jr., Lou Williams, Trey Burke, Kawhi Leonard, and of course Luka Doncic. And also, this was just the third game of the playoffs so far to go into OT, albeit it's only the first round of the playoffs, and we've only seen 28 games throughout the league so far, but this still is probably the best game we've seen during the 2020 playoffs thus far. In case you missed it, with his team trailing by 2 and exactly 9 seconds left in the game, Marcus Morris hit a clutch three-point basket to give the Clippers the lead, which caused the Mavericks and coach Rick Carlisle to call a timeout in a decisive Game 4, where either the Clippers would take a 3-1 lead or the Mavericks would tie the series up at 2 games apiece. Out of the timeout, Luka tried to get the offense going, but with just 3.7 seconds left on the clock, Reggie Jackson would foul Luka and force the Mavs to have to make a quick inbound play since the Clippers had a foul to give. So following that foul by Jackson, the Mavs had Dorian Finney-Smith inbound the ball to Luka off a screen, where he would then dribble between the legs, do a crossover on Reggie Jackson before hitting a crazy step-back 3 for the win at the buzzer. This was a crazy sequence to end the game, to say the least, as the Mavericks would end up winning 135-133 in overtime, and of course tying the series up at 2 games apiece. In all honesty, when Luka went for this shot, I was thinking, oh, okay, that's cute, just go for a stupid 3 to end the game, sure. But boy was I wrong, as Luka's crazy step-back 3 ended up actually going in and winning Dallas the game. And while I do see the Clippers still coming out on top in this series, it's very much looking like we got ourselves an entertaining rest of the series on our hands, thanks in huge part to just how great Luka has been since entering the bubble or just playing in this series alone. Looking at how great his Game 4 performance was, Luka made history on 2 fronts. Luka dropped 43 points, 17 rebounds, and 13 assists, which meant he became just the 3rd player in NBA history with at least 40 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assists in a playoff game next to Hall of Famers Charles Barkley and Oscar Robertson. Luka also had the 2nd most points in a playoff triple-double, behind Russell Westbrook's 51 points in Game 2 of OKC's first-round series against the Rockets in 2017. Those are crazy numbers and, of course, historic numbers from Luka, and it's scary to think that Luka only just turned 21 years old this past February, and this is still only his 2nd year in the NBA and his first appearance in the NBA playoffs. Despite this being the 21-year-old's first appearance in the NBA playoffs, in these 4 games thus far, Doncic is averaging 31.5 points, 10.5 rebounds, 9.8 assists, and 1.5 steals per game. What's even crazier is if you take out his poor performance in Game 3 where he rolled his ankle, he's putting up a crazy 37.6 points, 11.3 rebounds, 10.6 assists, and 1.6 steals a game. So while he's only 0.2 assists off of doing it already, if you take out that poor Game 3 performance, he's averaging a 37-point triple-double. That's a crazy stat for any player, but when those numbers are coming from a 21-year-old who's only playing his 2nd year in the league, that's even scarier to think about. So that makes me ask, how good will Luka really be when he enters his prime? I don't know if any of us could really answer that question as of right now, but when looking at how much his numbers have jumped from his rookie season to his sophomore season this year, it's scary to think about how much more we'll see his numbers jump in the future. From this year to last year, when looking at his regular season numbers, Luka upped his scoring from 21.2 points to 28.8, from 7.8 rebounds to 9.4 rebounds, and from exactly 6 assists to nearly 9 assists at 8.8 per game. The only statistical category he got worse in was steals, but the decline was so small as he went from 1.1 to exactly 1 steal per game this season. That's not even the only jump I want to look at, however, though. Despite it being a small 11-game sample size, let's look at how much his play has jumped from before the season got suspended to his numbers since entering the NBA bubble. Luka averaged 28.7 points, 9.3 rebounds, 8.7 assists, and 1.1 steals in 54 games before the season got suspended on March 11th. Now in his 7 regular season games and 4 playoff games, Luka is averaging 30.5 points, 10.2 rebounds, 9.7 assists, and 0.8 steals per game. So once again, the only category his stats dropped in were in the steals category, but he is now averaging exactly 1 more assist per game. And in his overall bubble performance, he's still nearly averaging a triple-double, and not just nearly doing it in the playoffs. It's crazy to see how hard Luka works and just how much better he's gotten consistently since entering the league. Even though Luka is a different animal from almost any player we've seen in the league before, and I don't know if the numbers we used to look at other NBA players is something we should do or even could do for Luka, I think when looking at those things in terms of Luka, it's scary, and one thing I do want to mention is the average age of a player's prime. When crunching the numbers and or surveying high IQ individuals in the basketball world, the age researchers always get for when an NBA player's prime occurs is 27 years old. Knowing that Luka still probably has 6 more years to go before we see him enter his prime is pretty damn scary. Another reason it's scary goes back to the one thing I said before about how hard Luka works. When coach Rick Carlisle brought in basketball and specifically ball handling and one mixtape legend Sham God to be a player development coach with the Mavs, this is what he had to say when he was interviewed and asked about Luka. His handles are better and he is just a year older into it. Most of it is Luka. He's just a great player. Luka is simply a great player. He is a great player to work with. Me and Coach James Mosley do stuff with him every day. The coaching staff works with his mind every day. Coach Carlisle puts so much trust into him and they have a great relationship. That's some high praise from Sham God and really shows how highly he's looked at by the people who know him well and work with him almost every day. I don't think any of us know how good Luka will be or even can be, as like I said before, we haven't seen too many players do the things that Luka has, and he's just in his 2nd season. But if we really do see Luka enter his prime in 6 years, then we truly are currently watching one of the best to ever play the game. And I still think that even if he does enter his prime in half that time, and it's only 3 years from now, a prime Luka is still going to be a scary sight and a problem for the opposing 29 teams, as he's already starting to blossom into a player giving other teams trouble in just his 2nd year and at the age of 21. I want to know what you guys think though. How good do you guys think Luka Doncic will manage to be when he hits the peak of his development as a player? Let me know down in the comment section below. Anyway, that's going to be it for me today though. If you like this video, then give it a like. And if you want to see more NBA content and breakdowns similar to this one, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Anyway guys, I'm SCJ and I am out. Peace.